Greetings. With Egyptian mathematics, we see one of the earliest forms of communicating with numbers. And what I mean by with numbers, I should actually mean by numerals. Numbers are the concept. Numeral is actually something we write to express the idea of a number. The Egyptians had a very simple system for illustrating the concept of numbers. And so we see for the Egyptians, for the concept of 1, they would use a simple, what we would think of as a tally mark or a staff mark. For 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way through 9, they would simply use a staff mark. So to represent the concept of 6, they would simply use 6 staves. And what this means is that the Egyptian system of numeration is said to be an additive system. Each symbol has a meaning, and you add the meanings together to get the total of the meaning. It would not be until the concept of 10 that you would see a new symbol introduced, the idea of the heel bone. The heel bone symbol represents 10. So in order to represent, let's say, the concept of 12, what we would need to do is we would need to represent an amount called 10 and 2 additional ones. So 12 would typically be written as a heel bone followed by 2 staff marks. And we could represent amounts more than 12, 13, 14. We could even represent something like 42. And 42 would simply be an additive process with the symbols you have. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, because I'm simply adding the symbols together. Nothing mysterious. It would be all the way until we get to 100 before the introduction of yet a new symbol. And so at the introduction of 100, we're going to see a new symbol, and it's a scroll. If you have ever taken a sheet of paper and twisted it in your hands and held it there and then let it go and then look at it long ways, and you can see some of the paper is spiraled inward. That's what this is representing, and it is the concept or the mark representing the concept for 100. Then the next concept that needs to be expressed is that of 1,000. And that is the symbol of a flower. A particular flower, the lotus flower, is what I've most often read in the literature. And this is a flower that grows all over the Mediterranean world. And so the lotus was, very abundant, so 1,000. So then after that, we're going to need 10 collections of 1,000 to get to 10,000. And with 10,000, we're going to get a new symbol. And this symbol, I'm going to try to get up here, and I'll even put some detail on it. It's a finger. And this finger represents the concept of 10,000. So if you wanted to represent let's say 22,022, you would need 2 fingers for the 20,000. You would need 2 lotus flowers for the extra 2,000 to get to 22. Then you would need 2 heel bones and 2 staffs for 22,022. After 10,000, we would see that we're going to get to hundreds of thousands. And hundreds of thousands will make perfect sense to anyone that has ever walked along the side of the road and looked in a ditch. Pollywogs are tadpoles. They're in abundance. And that's what we see this picture as a tadpole, hundreds of thousands. And last but not least, the last system the last numeral we will look at will be the numeral for 1 million. And the numeral for 1 million is a man kneeling down, arms outstretched upward. And it's called man in awe. And the only thing I can imagine is some poor bloke got a bill from somebody for $1 million whatevers, and he's now thinking to himself, how am I ever going to pay this? Man in awe. I don't know where it came from. That's just my sense of humor. But here are the basic symbols for dealing with the Egyptian symbols. Now, the reason the Egyptian symbols work so well for some very basic arithmetic is because it's obvious how to perform the arithmetic. 233 plus 340, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I simply want to add this, literally an Egyptian would just come along and say, combine everything together and see what you have. So I see if I combine this together, I need 5 of that symbol, because I wouldn't replace that symbol until I get to 10 of them. I see 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 3, 3, 8. 2 of these gives me 10, which is another heel bone, and then 1 staff. So there is the answer to the addition problem, 233 plus 348. And the answer is 500. 3 and 3 is 6, 7, 8. So 581. Subtraction would also be easy. Suppose you have 581 and you're asked to subtract, and I'm going to use the concept of subtraction as removal, and you're asked to remove an amount. You are literally going to erase the symbols you need to erase that amount of information. So when you look in your textbook, don't let it confuse you. It's a very simple system using only one concept, that of it's an additive system. Where things are written doesn't give it extra meaning. It's simply the symbol has meaning. To get the concept of all of the symbols, take each individual meaning, add them together. I hope this helps.